Good evening and welcome back. We're speaking live to Rigathi Gachagua, former deputy president and now DCP party leader. As questions continue to swirl over who was responsible over the chaos that gripped the nation on the 25th of June this year. Now, Mr. Gachagua, on Wednesday, multiple police stations were touched, including Nyeri, Kiambu, even in Embu. This is your political backyard. So many are asking if this wasn't your operation, because it was more likely that, in your backyard, you lit the match. If this wasn't your operation, then who was behind it?
You must give me a few minutes to put it into perspective so that I explain to you exactly what is happening. William Ruto was elected by 47% of the people from the Mount Kenya region. Along the way, he betrayed the mountain people. He misused them. He lost their trust, and they abandoned him. He has tried every trick in the book to get them back, and it has become difficult. He has spent billions of shillings in empowerment programs, buying leaders and all that. It has become impossible. So a plot was hatched by Kipchumba Murkomen and a few other people surrounding the president to create havoc within the Mount Kenya region and then blame it on leaders who are popular in the region. This is what happened, Chair. How do you explain police stations are manned by police officers who are armed? They are attacked by people who are unarmed. They overpower them, take over a police station and touch it. It's a movie. No shooting, nothing. No resistance. Some people just walk into a police station, take it over and touch it. That is, and you are not even told the inmates who are in the cells, were they released or not? There is nothing. It was staged managed. This is what happened. Let me give you an example in Kikuyu. The office of the DCC was touched. The law courts were touched. They are guarded by police. Somehow the police were not there, and the touching went on. Then the leader of majority says some gangs wanted to attack his father, who is 101 years, but he was not attacked. It was just an attempt, but he was not attacked. Yet the police station, the law courts are attacked. Higher, you go to Nyeri. They ban Naiva supermarket of some fellow there in Nyeri town. But the supermarket owned by the member of parliament for Kieni, there is an attempted attack, but it is not attacked because it is personal. It is not meant to be attacked. It's just something you are trying to do. Then you find here in Nairobi, at night, all businesses owned by people from the Mount Kenya region are attacked, okay? You find that several businesses are attacked. Police are there. Nobody is arrested. Nobody is stopped. It's simply an onslaught on the community. Then the CS Interior comes and says, the goons in Nairobi were stranded, they were from Murang'a, they were from Nyeri, they were from Kirinyaga, trying to profile a community to show that this issue that happened in Nairobi was done by the people from the Kikuyu nation. Okay? Then the following day, go to parliament. The scheme was turn the people of Central Kenya against Rigathi Gachagua and other leaders who are popular in the region. That is why they attack in Olkalau. People have told us in Olkalau, all the goons who are there, none of them is a local. Yet they did it, police never did any action. This thing was managed by government to target Kikuyu business premises. And then later, Moses Wetangula allowed a debate in parliament for 2 hours to blame Rigathi Gachagua to blame John Medhu, to blame John Kagushia, to blame Jane Kehara, to blame Mukunji, to blame all leaders who are popular in Central Kenya region, hoping and believing that the people of Central Kenya can believe that their leaders who are very popular and who are loved by the people had organized violence against them. This is what has happened. The people of that region are very enlightened as we speak today. And William Ruto drove a narrative and made the people of Central Kenya hate Uhuru Kenyatta. He said he's a drunkard, he's useless, he's this and that. And the people of Mount Kenya, I included, believed him. We turned against Uhuru Kenyatta and hated him. The people of that region have made a decision. They will never hate their leader. They will never turn against their leader. They have seen through that scheme that was done on Wednesday to target their businesses and then try to blame their leaders. Yeah, you know, even they were trying to say today, Kipchumba Murkomen was telling DCI, go and arrest Rigathi Gachagua, arrest Gakuya, arrest Major Dong, so that the Kikuyu people can believe that Rigathi Gachagua and Major Dong and Gakuya are the ones who touched property belonging to the Kikuyu. The Kikuyu people are very intelligent. William Ruto, the people see through you. You came and conned them. You turned them against their own son, Uhuru Kenyatta. You are not going to do it again. This time, they have seen through you. The government touched and raided businesses belonging to Kikuyu people on Wednesday, deliberately, under police guard, so that they can come and take the popular leaders in the region and blame them, hoping that they can hate Rigathi Gachagua, they can hate Medhu, they can hate the other leaders, and prove back to William Ruto. William Ruto, let me tell you.
But there's been
whatever little chance that existed, that the mountain could ever listen to you. The events of Wednesday, of looting businesses owned by the Mount Kenya people, of torching them, of getting police to supervise the looting of their businesses, and then trying to blame their sons through parliament. That thing in parliament, it was a charity because, Michelle, if Rigathi Gachagua has broken the law, it is not parliament to say, you know? If Medhu has broken the law, it is not parliament to say, it is not parliament to ask police to take action. If Kimani Ichung'wah, his father, was to be attacked, does he go to cry in parliament, or he goes and record a statement and say, Michelle or so-and-so came to attack my father? That was a stage money thing in parliament to try to persuade the people of Mount Kenya that all the businesses that were looted at night under police supervision, on the instructions of the government, they wanted to blame me and other people. We see through you, and I've told them, come and arrest me today. Go and arrest Gakuya, go and arrest Major Dong.
So you don't fear arrest?
We don't fear the arrest. But all I can tell them, the people of our region and our supporters kept quiet when they removed us from office. I'm a very peaceful man. I ask my people, please don't take any action. You are very unhappy with what William Ruto has done to us as a community by taking our seat, by embarrassing us. Please just sing. But I am saying, I no longer have the control of my supporters. They are angry, and any attempt to harass us, any attempt to intimidate us, will be dealt with by the people. I can tell you, right. the mood on the ground.
From this, Mr.
The mood, I want to tell you, I want to say.
You mentioned that this is a plot to alienate the Mount Kenya region,
yes.
like he did
yes.
with Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
But what was your role in that? There are
I am saying,
I have told you. The campaign
I have told you.
Uhuru Kenyatta, including the attack.
I have told you William Ruto conned an entire community, I included.
So you were...
I have owned it up. I have apologized to the community. But I was not alone. He conned bishops. He conned reverends. He conned pastors. He conned all of us. He cannot do it a second time. This whole thing of Wednesday was a scheme by William Ruto to touch businesses belonging to the Mount Kenya people, loot them, and then try to blame it on their leaders so that they can hate us the way they hated Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeah?
But you have no evidence.
I am?
Do you have evidence?
That we have evidence. What evidence do you need, Michelle? These businesses were touched when police are watching. These policemen belong to the government. What other evidence do you need? I'm asking, since Wednesday, Michelle, how many goons have been arrested? Protesters in Kerugoya were arrested. 25 are taken to court. The goons who touched a supermarket in Kerugoya have not been arrested. The goons who touched things in Nyeri have not been arrested. The people who touched things here in Nairobi and looted, they have not been arrested because they cannot be arrested because they were sponsored by the government. And everybody knows. And I want to tell my friend William Ruto, when you are in a hole, my brother, you stop digging. Don't dig deeper. You have persecuted our community. You have humiliated our community. You now have a scheme on how to destroy their businesses and try to blame their leaders, and then you want to persecute their leaders. The wall you are starting with the mountain and the people of Kenya, you will not be able to control it. You go ahead and do what you want to do. Kipchumba Murkomen, you say you want to arrest me tonight. Please just go ahead. I'm here. You know where I am. You don't even have to wait for this interview. You can come after this. But I want to tell you, the people have had enough. You know, this persecution of the community, this humiliation of the community is too much, you know, and I don't think it's going to happen again. And the people are not going to allow it because where it has reached now, it's just too much, you know. How do you organize goons to destroy businesses belonging to a community that voted you into office under police supervision?
Let's talk about why there are protests on the streets to begin with. And what Kenyans are asking for is good governance, better governance at the end of the day. Gen Z are saying Ruto must go.
Yes.
That's what you are saying, Mr. Gachagua.
Yes.
But the president says that's your entire plan. Ruto must go, that you have no vision behind that.
That's what
What's
he
your
says.
answer to him today?
President Ruto says we have no plan. We have a plan to send him home. It's a very important plan in the whole matrix.
And then what?
We have plans to restore the dignity of the payslip. We have plans to restore the health systems. We have plans to restore the education system. We have planned to have justified taxation and proper utilization of collected taxes. But all those things we have plans to stop abductions. We have plans to stop extrajudicial killings. All those things, Michelle, cannot happen when William Ruto is in office because he's the one who has messed the country. All his plans are responsible for the shit we are in as a country, for the hole we are in as a country. For those plans to take place, plan number one is William Ruto must exit the space, and then all the other plans can work. And that is why he says we have no plan, because the plan that we have is to exit him. Ordinarily, he wouldn't like it, and I don't want to blame him for it. But I want to say we have plans, but it's a prerequisite for all these plans to work, for us to stop corruption, for us to stop tribal appointments, for us to restore the dignity of the payslip, for us to restore education, the university financing model that can work, for us to restore health care and make sure that things are working. President William Ruto must be sent home. That is our plan. That is a plan of Gen Z. Indeed, it's a plan by the people of Kenya. As we go around the country, I heard him today crying about one term. There's nothing he can do.
Okay.
That is the Clarion Call, one term.
Part of what you said is that you would like to fight for the dignity of the pay slip.
Yes.
Because Kenyans feel raided,
yes,
so to speak,
yes.
by the taxation under the Kenya Kwanza administration. How do you plan to do that?
We must have reasonable taxation. Michelle, the housing levy. Nobody wants government to construct houses for you. That's not the work of government. The work of government, Michelle, is to do roads, water, electricity, sewage, and create a good environment by provision of security. It's not the work of government to build houses. Michelle, you'll build your own house, depending on your capacity and your ability, So we are taxing people money to go and build houses that they don't need. Nobody is interested in that housing program. So that one we are going to scrap. We are going to scrap that the housing levy so that we start giving a relief to the pay slip. The issue of NSSF, it's something that needs to be discussed. You cannot impose, force people to save, because people are saving on their own, by the way. And saving is an individual decision, Michelle. You may want to live your good life now when you are young and energetic, and you cannot force people to save. So that is something else we are going to look into. Again, Michelle, we want to tax people. And people have no problem with the taxation. What people want is proper utilization of their taxes. We don't want to tax people to go and put up, renovate state house and lodges for William Ruto. Those state houses have been there since 1900. He is spending billions of shillings renovating that state house like he's going to live there forever, or like it's his personal house. It isn't. We are saying that our administration will have reasonable taxation and will do proper utilization of those taxes to the benefit and satisfaction of the people of Kenya.
Right. So let's talk about the DCP party, which is a vehicle that you've coined to get into power. Now, critics say that your party's leadership is dominated by tribesmen and political allies from the Mount Kenya region. Others say that the cousin tag that you've coined that is now going viral is you repackaging tribalism as a reform to make it cool. Why has it been so difficult for you to shed off that tribal tag?
Well, that is a narrative by William Ruto. William Ruto is an expert in creating narratives. I've just told you he created for us, the mountain people, a narrative that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard and useless, and we believed him. He's a very believable fellow. But as we go on, people are learning that he's a liar and he's deceptive. My party, the party that I have formed, DCP, is not a tribal party. The deputy party leader, Cleophas Malala, is from Kakamega. He's not from Kirinyaga or Nyandarua. The Secretary General, Hezron Ubaga, is from Kisii. That is not Embu. The Deputy Secretary General, Ole Kamwaro, is from Narok. That is not Embu. The Deputy Secretary General Strategy, Mable Owino, is from Kisumu. That is not Wamanyoro. Let me tell you, it's a narrative created by William Ruto. According to William Ruto, when he and Raila Odinga gets together, that is national integration and national unity. If Rigathi Gachagua sees with Fred Matiang'i, with Kalonzo Musyoka, with Eugene Wamalwa and others, that is tribalism. Tribalism, according to William Ruto, is anybody who is not in his praise and worship team. But if you agree to sing his song, you are a nationalist. And in matters tribalism, look at today at the promotions that were done by the Department of Defense. All the senior positions were given to his tribesmen. And he is in everywhere saying people are tribal. If you look at parastatals in Kenya, there are about 250. 92 of them, the CEOs are from the Kalenjin community. That is tribalism. If you look at key institutions, you know, even where he has given other communities, he has put PSs from his community under them. And let me tell you, why has the Kasi narrative gone viral? If it was a bad thing, why would it go viral? You know, William Ruto cannot dictate to us how to refer to each other. I am looking for my family lineage. Yeah? The Kambas are my cousins because the language they speak and the one I speak, we understand each other. The Mijikenda are our cousins. The Kisis are our cousins. The Luyas are our cousins. The Kurias are our cousins. You know? The Masais are my in-laws. Right. You know? The Meru, the Embu are my brothers and sisters. William Ruto cannot dictate to me on how to relate with the family. You know? And he should keep on family matters. You know? He can relate with Raila Odinga. He calls him his brother. We don't have a problem. The Luyas and the Luos have been calling each other Shemeji. Nobody has ever had a problem. Let me tell you where the whole of this thing is. This annoyance. Is the place of the mountain in Kenyan politics. The mountain, because of their numbers, where they are is a winning lot. William Ruto is bitter that he won the election with the mountain. The mountain has left him to join others. And that is why they are saying this casting thing is a bad thing. But when the mountain voted for him, he was very happy. He never called us tribal. He was saying we are very good people. He was always visiting us. We don't have a contract with him. And he shouldn't have a sense of entitlement that the mountain must be with him. Right. The mountain has left him. The mountain is with other people.
Let's talk about governance.
And the sooner he appreciates that the mountain people have a democratic right to work with other Kenyans, not him. It cannot be by force because he wants to force us to like him or to vote for him, and we will not. We have a responsibility. We have a democratic right to work with Kalonzo. We have a democratic right to work with Matiang'i. We have a democratic right to work with Eugene Wamalwa. We have a democratic right to work with the Mijikenda. Why is he having a problem with that?
I'm glad you bring us there. Let's talk about good governance. That is what Kenyans want. But we've seen you under the DCP party align with several people. We've seen Moses Kuria previously, Justin Muturi, Mithika Linturi. Yourself and these men have essentially been branded political rejects of the Kenya Kwanza administration. Linturi, for example, faced a motion to remove him from office for gross misconduct. Is the team you're fronting the best you can offer as alternative government for Kenyans, Mr. Gachagua?
We are not political rejects because the people of Kenya never rejected me. It's William Ruto who rejected me. Justin Muturi was not rejected by the people of Kenya. He was rejected by William Ruto. Mithika Linturi was rejected by William Ruto. It's only William Ruto who rejected us. William Ruto is not the equivalent of the people of Kenya. That anybody he has a problem with is a reject. And you must ask yourself, where is the problem here? These are all people who supported William Ruto. But he has disagreed with all of them, and he says they are incompetent. According to him, he is the only one who is competent. But you must ask yourself here, who is competent? Because after I have left, nothing has changed. After Kuria left, nothing has changed. Muturi has left, nothing has changed. Linturi has left, nothing has changed. What is the common denominator here in terms of failure? It's William Ruto in matters of incompetence. When he came in as president, we had a working health system. Today it has collapsed. When he came in, we had a working university financing model. It has collapsed. When he came in, roads were going on across Kenya. They are all stored. So in matters incompetence, it's William Ruto who is incompetent. But he's very quick. It's like in the streets when pickpockets or fellows who do mugging, You know, they would steal something from you, then shout, thief, 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 thief. That is what William Ruto does, to hide his own incompetence. He has changed his cabinet 4 times. Nothing has changed. So what is the common denominator that there is failure in government in Kenya, that nothing is working? The common denominator across the whole scenario is William Ruto. So you cannot say that we have been rejected by who? We have been rejected by one person, and as it works, the people of Kenya are also rejecting him, because with the time, they have realized where the problem is.
All right. We have several people fronting themselves as alternative leaders, or for alternative leadership in the country. We had the retired Chief Justice David Maraga saying that he's positioning himself as the Gen Z candidate. You've also been speaking the Gen Z language, but which one of these candidates, you included, is actually listening to the Gen Z? Are you really listening, or just using them, riding on the wave?
The Gen Z are very bright people. They are marvelous young people. I have such tremendous respect for them. You know, they know who they can trust in this country. The Gen Z know at their lowest moment, when they were being killed and massacred by William Ruto and Kithure Kindiki, when everybody was demonizing them, when William Ruto was calling them criminals, who came to stand for them? It was Rigathi Gachagua. I sacrificed my job as deputy president, a very good job, with the parks, with security, with all obedience, you know, and I said, I want to start with these children. And I attracted the wrath of William Ruto for starting with these young people. It's these young people, the Gen Z, who will look at the whole political landscape and will decide where they want to place their trust. And I think they are intelligent enough to know what they want to do. I don't want to force myself on the Gen Z. All the time I'm being accused of funding them or financing them, you know. And what has happened is that the Gen Z have appreciated me and accepted me, because I'm always being accused of being their leader, of being the one who is financing them, who is doing this and that. But all I have done is stand with them and stand for them. And I'll continue to do so. And I'm sorry, I'm told that they have taken away the security of Chief Justice David Maraga because of appearing to support the Gen Zs. That is how petty this administration is. That is Kipchumba Murkomen. If somebody is seen in the streets, you know, it's democracy. Going to show solidarity with the Gen Zs is part of our democracy. Now, taking away the security of David Maraga because he was in the streets, you know, it's a lot of, it's pettiness. It's very petty, you know. It's unacceptable, I must tell you, Michelle.
All right. And you mentioned several things. Once you said that you're actually glad you got impeached at some point to avoid going down with President William Ruto. Now that you've been impeached, you didn't speak up then. Can you speak up now? For example, who, Mr. Gachagua, ordered the invasion into Uhuru Kenyatta's family when you were DP?
Let me tell you, Michelle, in a very simple matter. Matters of a retired president, nobody lesser than the person of the president can make a decision about their lives. Okay? There is nobody who can withdraw the security of Uhuru Kenyatta without asking William Ruto. There is nobody who can touch his farm without asking William Ruto. It's as short as that. And William Ruto knew what he planned, and then he went out of the country so that it would look like we are the ones who are doing it. But I want to tell you from practice, and you can find out, matters to do with a retired president are decided by the president himself. And that settles the matter as to who could be responsible in doing this or not. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the media. When you were DP, you were a huge critic of the media, never missing an opportunity to disparage the Fourth Estate, all up until just before your ejection as deputy president. Now, this week, after Wednesday's order against live broadcasts of the protest, we saw you coming up with a statement in support of media and press freedom. What has changed since then?
Michelle, I've never been against the media. I have been a critic of the media.
You called us as
I have been a critic of the media.
Several times.
I have been a critic of the media in a nice manner by granting you an interview to ask me questions. That is what it is. I am entitled to my own opinion. The fact that I grant interviews any one time and answer any question, demonstrates my respect for the media. And I want to say that switching off the live stream was done deliberately so that the looting is not recorded, so that the goons are not recorded. I have told you it was a scheme by William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, and that is why the media had to be switched off. And I want to tell William Ruto, please don't take us back to the 80s during the Moi era. William Ruto, kindly, we are in 2025. How do you interfere with media freedom? The media freedom is a basic freedom that is well entrenched in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And for you even to change a clause in the Bill of Rights, Michelle, you must go for a referendum. And again, William Ruto is taking us back to torture. You have seen somebody being tortured in police station. What was happening in Nyayo House in the torture chambers? William Ruto, you are a PhD holder. You simply cannot take us to what President Moi was doing in the 80s. This is 2025. And I want to say, and I really want to empathize with the media, we are very sorry about what happened. That should never happen. The hallmark of any democracy is the freedom of the media. Media freedom is absolutely important because Kenyans are entitled to information, And I have told you why the live stream was switched off, so that nobody can capture those images of what was happening. But the good thing is that with the advent of social media, the videos are coming through. We can see exactly what happened. It was not seen on mainstream media, but the videos are now being reviewed, and you put pieces together, you can see exactly what happened and why the TVs were being switched off.
All right.
But Michelle, I am a fan of the media, and I am also a Christian of the media. Media has given me a lot of coverage, and that is because why? I don't shy away from the media. I speak my mind. I answer in a question. I will never support gagging of the media. But I reserve my right to criticize the media, but I will not gag the media. And I think those two things are different. Criticism is healthy. If you are not doing what, in my view, is not right, I'll say so. You are equally at liberty to criticize me and what I'm doing. And I'll never take any offense. I'll have the right of reply, and then you have to take, a stand that you want to take.
All right, Mr. Gachagua, as we wind up, what do you say to Kenyans who are watching today, many of them seeking answers and accountability? Kenyans who lost their friends, who lost their families, who are shot at, who are angry and don't know who to believe anymore. I
want to tell the people of Kenya not to give up. We are very resilient people. And 2 years is a long time, but not too long. The people of Kenya withstood the brutality of the colonial regime for years, but God saw them through. Again, we had 24 years of the Moi repression. Again, we prevailed. Another 2 years of the Ruto regime will prevail. And I want to say, I have never advocated the removal of President William Ruto from office through unconstitutional means. I am a believer in the rule of law. I am a believer in the Constitution. I want President William Ruto to be removed from office through the ballot. I've heard him say, crying today, that he doesn't know how we want him to go home. I've heard him crying today. I saw him very mellowed. The usual bravado is not there. I saw him very mellowed, crying. Oh, people are saying Ruto must go. I need to understand how I need to go. President, don't throw the ball back to us. Kenyans have decided you'll be one term, you'll go. The decision of how you go is yours. There are two ways you can make a decision. One, you can resign and go home in dignity. Two, you can wait for the people of Kenya to remove you through the ballot in 2027. And I don't think anybody wants to overthrow William Ruto. All this nonsense that there was a coup, or they wanted to overthrow William Ruto, is all nonsense. It's just a Ruto boy is trying to hype him and cheat him so that he doesn't see the reality that Kenyans are agitating for reforms. Kenyans are agitating for good governance. They want to just lie to William Ruto that all this clamor you are seeing is not genuine. Kenyans are not angry. They still love you. Oh, they still support you. They are all lies. Oh, it was a coup. Oh, they want to overthrow you. That is all nonsense. Kenyans are agitating for change. They want good governance, an end to abductions, an end to extrajudicial killings, an end to corruption. And I think Kenyans are decent enough to allow William Ruto to finish his term, and they exit him in a constitutional way. And myself, I'm a firm believer. That's why I talk about one term.
Right.
I don't talk about half term. I want William Ruto to serve the remaining 2 years. Through the ballot, we take him home. But if he decides he's tired, the way he has talked today, asking how we want him to go, he has the opportunity, if he wishes, he can resign and go home. And then we proceed.
Mr. Gachagua, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for your time and for speaking to NTV tonight. That is Rigathi Gachagua, former Deputy President and DCP party leader, speaking to us about who was